Welcome to Stars X. They were the voices that defined a generation, the harmonies that brought millions together, and the boy band that changed pop music forever. This is the story of the Backstreet Boys. It all began in 1993 when Lou Pearlman, an entrepreneur fascinated by the success of New Kids on the Block, set out to form his own boy band. He held auditions in Orlando, Florida, and found 5 young men who would go on to make history.
Why are you called the Backstreet Boys? Are you really from the Backstreet?
There's a place in Orlando, like a local hangout, where a lot of people like to cruise around their convertibles and listen to music and meet girls and, meet people. So, and it's called the Backstreet Market, and that's where we got our name.
The original members, AJ McLean, Howie Dorough, Nick Carter, Kevin Richardson, and Brian Littrell, came together with dreams of making it big. But success didn't come overnight. The boys faced grueling rehearsals, voice training, and dance lessons, all while performing at high schools and theme parks to build their fan base. Their hard work paid off when they caught the attention of Jive Records and signed a deal in 1994. The Backstreet Boys were on their way to stardom. Their debut international album, Backstreet Boys, was released in 1996 and found massive success overseas before conquering the US in 1997.
Is it still a lot of fun? Because you got, 5 young guys together all day long. Is it still fun?
It's always a lot of fun. I mean, it's a constant learning process for all of us. We're always growing as a team and as a family, and we're always learning something new. I mean, we're learning new instruments. We're learning how to work behind the scenes in the studio, and things are going great so far.
Their self-titled US debut album, released in 1998-1997, cemented their status as pop icons with hits like Quit Playing Games with My Heart and As Long As You Love Me. Their harmonies and synchronized dance moves made them instant teen heartthrobs. As their fame skyrocketed, so did their struggles. Behind the scenes, the group faced issues with their manager, Lou Pearlman, who was later exposed for financial misconduct.
You would think that every member would have had their own lawyer, their own accountant, and everyone would be sitting down at the table every quarter slicing up the pie. Why didn't that happen? Were you young or what was it?
Well, we weren't that young, we weren't that old either.
Well, I initially filed what's called an open lawsuit, an open-ended lawsuit, because I couldn't do it by myself. I knew things were wrong. I was disappointed, knowing the work and the effort that we were putting in to the show after show after show, and this guy is sitting in his office and he's getting checks. I was like, something's wrong. Kind of a love-hate type thing, like, what are you doing? You're gonna break up the band. We can't do this right now. We're on top of the world. And we teamed up, so.
Yeah, we all knew things weren't right. I mean, obviously, our bank accounts are nothing, and our managers and especially him, his bank account's growing. But to possibly be held up in a law court, because he was threatening filing a cease and desist because he had ownership of the name,
the equipment we were using,
our touring equipment.
He shut it down,
all that
the
up.
doors.
He shut our tour down for a little while when we announced the lawsuit.
Okay.
Despite the betrayal, the group pushed forward, releasing Millennium in 1999, which became one of the best-selling albums of all time. Tracks like I Want It That Way dominated the charts and became anthems of a generation. The Backstreet Boys were at the top of the world, but the stress of constant touring and recording took a toll. Brian Littrell had to undergo open-heart surgery. AJ McLean struggled with addiction, and by 2001, the cracks were starting to show. By the early 2000s, the music industry was changing, and boy bands were no longer dominating the charts. The Backstreet Boys took a hiatus, and in 2006, Kevin Richardson decided to leave the group to focus on family. The remaining 4 members continued, releasing albums like Unbreakable and This Is Us, which saw moderate success. Despite the shifting music landscape, the Backstreet Boys refused to fade away. They reinvented their sound and continued touring, proving they were more than just a 90s phenomenon. In 2012, Kevin rejoined the group, and together they released In a World Like This. The album was a celebration of their journey and a reminder of their place in pop music history.
The love and the passion that we get from the fans and us doing this for so long, I mean, who wouldn't want to run out there and do what we do? I mean, we're blessed to be able to call that work.
It's interesting, you sit back home, for me, I'm raising 3 kids, like basically not entertaining anymore, we're just dads back home, And, you reflect a lot and you say to yourself, like, why do you do this? What is the meaning of it? And coming back out and seeing, how many people are just so excited, like seeing these people come together. They're out there having a really good time. And I feel like that's what this is all about, is our music. This nostalgic feeling is basically bringing people back together, and we're seeing that in real time, and it's made a whole new meaning for what we do.
Do you still get that adrenaline rush? You like that answer?
Yeah, I do. That's a good answer.
You did well.
Then came their Las Vegas residency, which became one of the most successful of all time, attracting fans old and new. In 2022, the group embraced the holiday spirit with A Very Backstreet Christmas. They continued to tour, proving that their music stands the test of time.
Very first ever in 29 years, almost 30 years, our very first ever Christmas album. We have had a few Christmas singles. We have done a slew of Christmas radio shows. We've done Christmas promotion. We've never had a full LP, mainly because of scheduling and time. We got to pick our favorite timeless Christmas records to do covers of, as well as we have 3 original Christmas songs on this album, 2 of which we wrote as a group, and another was written by a Grammy-winning, amazing producer, Mr. Gary Baker, who we've known for years and we've worked with for years. And again, we finally get to share our love for the holidays with all of our fans around the world, because Christmas is celebrated around the world. And
as of 2025, the Backstreet Boys are still together, performing, recording, and proving that they are much more than just a boy band. From mall tours to global superstardom, from struggles to triumphs, the Backstreet Boys remain one of the most enduring musical acts in history. And as they sing, Backstreet's back, all right. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.